Hey there, welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm gonna be creating Bending Kirby from Kirby and the Forgotten Land using polymer clay. The materials. These are the materials I'm using for this creation. For this creation, I'm using Papa's clay. The armature. I'm creating the armature using cardboard, masking tape, and aluminum foil. I'm cutting the aluminum foil and trying to get it as straight as possible. You want to have it wrinkle-free. That way the clay will look better on top of it. Now I'm going to be creating the space for the mouth. I'm drawing the mouth shape and then I will cut it using the X-Acto knife. I'm removing the pieces of cardboard to make the mouth space, and then I'm covering it again with masking tape. I'm adding bacon bond to better allow the clay to stick to the armature, and then spreading it out using a paintbrush. The body. For the body, I'm adding the pink clay to the armature. I use the pasta machine to create flat sheets of clay. And I'm adding and cutting each side of the body separately, trying to get a square look. Now I'm creating the space for the mouth by cutting out the excess of clay. Then I'm using the roller to try to get a sharper squared shape. Finally, I'm using clay softener to smooth the surface before the first bake. The mouth. For the inside of the mouth, I'm using black clay. I created a flat sheet of black clay using the pasta machine, and I'm cutting the clay using this long clay cutter made by Sculpey. I'm using the back of the X-Acto knife to push down the black clay and smooth the surface. And finally, I'm cleaning the figure using alcohol on a baby wipe. The mouth lid. For the mouth lid, I'm using the bottom part of a plastic container. I'm cutting the bottom out using the X-Acto knife. Now I'm cutting it with the scissors to cover the exact mouth shape. The eyes and face details. For the black part of the eyes, I'm starting with two small balls of black clay, smushing them on top of the pink body. Now I'm cutting the excess of clay using the X-Acto knife, creating the eye circular shape. Now I'm going back to the mouth to prepare the figure for a quick bake. I'm using clay softener to smooth the inside of the mouth. I'm creating two holes for later, to be able to hold the lid hooks to enable it to move. I'm doing a quick bake using the heat gun. Now going back to the eyes. First, I'm creating the blue part using a small ball of blue clay, smushing it on top of the black clay. Then I'm cutting the excess of clay using the X-Acto knife. I'm creating the white dots on top of the eye using a small ball of white clay. And the same for the cheeks. I'm using two balls of darker pink clay. The hands and feet. For the hands, I'm using two balls of pink clay. And for the feet, I'm using the ends of a long piece of red clay. and I'm rounding the pieces using my hands. I'm using clay softener to glue the new clay with the already baked clay. For the feet or shoes, I'm putting one in the back and one in the front. I'm trying to make a walking effect. Now I'm going back to the mouth. I'm cleaning the holes I previously made for the lid hooks. I'm adding the lid hooks inside of the holes, making it a movable lid. It looks nice, but it still doesn't feel right. I'm going to be sanding the lid to make it a bit smaller and smoother. I like how it looks now. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of it? Subscribe if you love Kirby. Help me grow the channel by liking the video and sharing it with your friends. I really appreciate your support. You should watch the Con Kirby video next, and check out my other Kirby creations on the channel. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.